You don't notice it at first. That's the scariest part. It doesn't feel like control. It feels like connection. It feels like understanding. It feels like someone finally sees you. And by the time you realize something is wrong, your thoughts don't even feel like your own anymore. Manipulation doesn't arrive wearing a warning sign. It arrives as kindness, as charm, as concern, as someone who seems to care more than anyone ever has. That's how it gets inside, not through force, but through trust. If you've ever walked away from a person and felt confused instead of angry, if you've ever questioned your own memory, your own emotions, your own reality, if you've ever thought, maybe it really is my fault, then this isn't just psychology. This is personal. Manipulators don't control you by overpowering you. They control you by reshaping how you see yourself. Your brain is wired for connection. Humans evolve to survive through attachment. When someone becomes emotionally important to you, your brain lowers its defenses. It releases oxytocin. It seeks safety. It wants to belong. This is beautiful, but it's also exploitable. Manipulators understand this intuitively. They don't start by hurting you. They start by bonding with you. They mirror you. They listen intensely. They make you feel special, chosen, understood. Your brain interprets this as safety. And once your brain labels someone as safe, it stops questioning them. That's when the subtle shifts begin. A comment here, a doubt there, a joke that doesn't feel funny, a look that makes you second-guess yourself. But it's never obvious. It's never loud. It's quiet, gentle, confusing. Because real manipulation doesn't feel like attack. It feels like love with conditions. One of the most powerful tools manipulators use is emotional confusion. They mix warmth with withdrawal, praise with criticism, affection with distance. Your nervous system becomes addicted to the highs and terrified of the lows. This is called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanism used in gambling addictions. Your brain starts chasing their approval like a reward, not because you're weak, but because your biology is being hijacked. You begin to overthink everything. What you said, how you said it, what they meant, what you did wrong. And slowly, the center of your world moves from you to them. Manipulators rarely tell you what to think. They make you doubt what you already know. They gaslight, not always dramatically, sometimes quietly. I never said that. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. You always twist everything. And the dangerous part, your brain wants harmony more than truth, so it starts choosing peace over reality. You stop trusting your memory, your intuition, your feelings. You start asking them what's real, and that's when control becomes complete. Because once someone defines reality for you, they define you. Another way manipulators gain control is by making you feel responsible for their emotions. If they're upset, it's your fault. If they're distant, you did something wrong. If they explode, you provoked them. This trains your nervous system to become hyper-vigilant. You start managing their mood. Predicting their reactions. Walking on emotional eggshells. Your brain enters a constant stress response. And when the brain is stressed, it doesn't think clearly. It becomes easier to influence, easier to confuse, easier to control. You might think manipulation only happens to naive people. That's false. Manipulators don't target weakness. They target depth. They target empathy. They target people who feel deeply, who care deeply, who reflect deeply, because those people will try to understand. Instead of escape, you start making excuses for them. They didn't mean it. They had a hard childhood. They're just misunderstood. They're hurting, and slowly, your compassion becomes the weapon used against you. This is called trauma bonding. When emotional pain and emotional closeness become tangled together, your brain associates love with distress, comfort with confusion, connection with chaos. So even when they hurt you, leaving feels impossible, not because you don't see the harm, but because your nervous system is addicted to the cycle. Manipulators don't always raise their voice. Sometimes they whisper. They plant doubts. They rewrite history. They shift blame. They make you feel guilty for having needs. They make you feel dramatic for expressing pain. They make you feel selfish for wanting respect, until eventually, you don't ask anymore. You just adapt. You become smaller, quieter, more careful, more apologetic, less you. And this is the most devastating part. Manipulation doesn't just control your behavior, it reshapes your identity. You stop knowing what you want. You stop knowing what you feel. You stop trusting your instincts. You stop recognizing yourself. And one day, you wake up and realize you've been surviving someone else's reality, not living your own. But here's what psychology wants you to know. If you've been manipulated, it does not mean you're stupid. It means you trusted. It means you loved. It means you were human. Your brain was doing what it evolved to do: attack, bond, connect. That's not weakness. That's biology. And healing begins when you stop blaming yourself for being human. Breaking free from manipulation doesn't start with confrontation. It starts with clarity, with noticing how you feel after interacting with someone. Not what they say, not what they promise, but how you feel. Do you feel small, confused, guilty, anxious, exhausted? Love does not make you doubt your worth. Connection does not erase your voice. Safety does not feel like walking on glass. Your intuition is not random. It is data. And if your body feels unsafe, something is wrong, even if your mind can't explain it yet. Manipulators rely on one thing: your silence, your doubt, your empathy without boundaries. But once you start trusting yourself again, once you stop explaining your pain, once you stop needing them to validate your reality, their power fades, not with drama, not with clarity. And that is the most dangerous thing to a manipulator. A mind that knows itself. So the real question isn't, how did they control me? It's, why was I taught not to trust myself? Sit with that. Because your mind is not weak. It was invaded. And anything that can be invaded can be reclaimed. Slowly, gently, but completely. And if this script felt uncomfortably familiar, maybe it's time to stop asking whether you're overreacting. Start asking whether you've been surviving something you never deserved. Would your life look like if your thoughts finally belonged to you again?